do. I got a heavenly download. I gotta get this off. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much for your patience. Thank you so very the update. I guess there was I'm like, I just updated it 3 weeks ago. Similar experience as I was speaking in Breakfast with Champions yesterday. I had to go and I shut down the phone and closed it out a couple of times. So thank you guys for bearing with me. I am Shawnte Health Wells. I am one of the trainers in the training room here at Elite Mod, and I am so delighted to be here with you guys as we prepare to kick off. Listen, August 28th is the anniversary of the I Have a Dream speech. And guess what? We are actually celebrating through gratitude. And I'm delighted that we have an opportunity to actually realize our gratitude dreams. That's how we're keeping the dream alive. So, if you guys are with me, I want you to wake up this algorithm, wake up this stage, and unmic on three and give me a big old Ric Flair. Woo! Ready? One, two, three. Woo! Love it, love it, love it. And those of you in the listening lounge of excellence, you know what you can do? You can actually give me a Ric Flair gif. How about that? Or you could put a woo in the chat. So, you guys, today, I want to really give you an unusual twist along with some tools and strategies that you guys can actually utilize for, any groups that you're leading, in addition to, being mods here. And those of you, whether you're a co-mod or a lead mod or a trainer, these are all things that we can borrow and tap in from Dr. King. So, if you don't mind, I'd love to start us off with a 1 minute clip from Dr. King himself. I think what better way to start than with Dr. King? Here we go. Woo! All right. If you guys were feeling that little clip, can we just unmic and just simply say, we have a dream? Ready on three. One, two, three. We have a dream. Woo! All right. So, you guys, there's a reason I like to make sure that you guys unmic. So, here's another little update that I received. So, I don't know if this Clubhouse got a little more clever, but the algorithm is not paying attention to the chat from what I was told in Breakfast with Champions yesterday by our top podcaster and analytics person, and it's really the unmiking now. So like that is what's feeding and getting us increased distribution. So thinking about your theme, when we listen to Dr. King, I don't know if you realize, but he has a theme, or maybe some people see a theme as a brand, but there's a theme to him. So when you listen to him, what comes to mind? I would love to know. You guys give me some suggestions. What do you think comes to mind? Are we when you hear Dr. King, or is it what type of theme comes to mind? Justice, equality, unity. I love that. Also, guess what else comes to mind for us? Usually we get inspired and we feel a little inspiration or encouragement or motivation, right? I love that. we definitely feel like a sense of unity, right? A sense of justice or caring and looking out for our neighbors and our families and our friends and others, who are, the least or the left out. That's a theme. And so if Dr. King could have a theme, why wouldn't we? So every single time when we have an opportunity, I like to always start with my intention. I have a dream for my gratitude sessions. My dream is that you leave there feeling better than when you arrived. My dream is to make sure that I'm doing something that's going to improve your health because I understand that gratitude is going to help your immune system. I understand that if I can tap into some positive thoughts, that you may have some fond memories. Guess what? You're going to get a fresh dose of endorphins. You're also going to make sure you have a great cocktail of serotonin as well. And these are things that are really, really good and rich hormones that is going to overall help and impact your immune health. So that is my dream. So whenever I get on this mic, my dream is to make sure that I give you that opportunity to tap into something that's fun. Tap in to a nostalgic memory through gratitude. I love to give people an unusual approach to gratitude. And we all have a way. One thing that I used to love about Saturdays is Chris, who used to have the shift after, when her and gosh, I forget the co-mod's name out in California, but they used to have a gratitude buffet. I love that theme because you think about so many holidays that are around food. When I think about Haroon on his theme, I always think about music. And when I'm able to tap into Ron's room on Sundays, I know that I'm going to have some groovy, chill vibes that's going to give me that spark of energy. Oh, and if you don't have one, think about those things that you naturally gravitate to. Dr. King had a theme to the way that he spoke. He spoke unlike others. His message, was unlike others. His approach to speaking, he wasn't the only orator of that time. He wasn't the only orator in human history, but he has a specific and a unique style. And there's something about when people can tap in to your brand of gratitude, when people can share in the dream. See, there's something about dreams that keeps us going. So, there's a thing called dopamine that I think sometimes gets a bad rap. Because people are like, oh, social media and all of this stuff with dopamine. But here's the thing. Dopamine is something that can motivate us. It's something that can actually move us. It moves us to want to eat. It moves us to want to do things. And so if we can just give a dopamine hit with our gratitude and look at that, even if you don't know what dream to have, and even if you are like Dr. King and Coretta Scott King, a lot of people don't realize that they were concerned that enough people weren't going to show up. They were hoping to get at least 20 or 25,000 people at the march. And over 250,000 people showed up because they tapped into that brand. They tapped into their theme. They definitely made sure that they kept that dream alive. And here's the thing, a fun fact that I want to share with you guys in that, in hopes of bringing this thing on home and helping you actually, tap into the power that's within you. A lot of people don't realize the original name of the speech and what someone he highly, regarded and respected, who told him, in essence, like, that dream speech, you might want to keep that for the kids, like the adults and people are not going to be rocking with you. Think about the title. So he had to craft and they did something new. And so the title of that speech, and if you watch it from the start to the part where he gets interrupted by a wonderful friend, it was called Normalcy Never Again. Now, while I like the title, does that ring a bell to y'all? Like, I have a dream? Like, think about that. August 28th. We're talking about what, 1962, 1963? Normalcy never again. That don't hit like I have a dream, does it? He had to stick true to who he was. And you know who saw that? He respected his elder, he respected his advisor, but his friend had courage out there in front of 250,000 people. So let me be your friend like Mahalia Jackson was for Dr. King. And let me tell you till you got to tell them about the dream. Tell others that you are leading about your gratitude dream. What's your gratitude dream? What type of room do you want to have? What type of leadership style do you want to have? Your theme and your style and your dream may not be my dream, and that's okay because there's so many types of people. There's such a diverse, population of humans out here in this world, and you have something unique that is going to speak to someone that I won't necessarily be able to connect or speak to and reach in the way that you can. So I'm grateful that his friend literally yelled out, "Tell him about the dream, Martin." And you can see him stop. And he paused. His whole energy, his cadence, all of that he was doing, he was actually going back and forth from the paper. But then you see him pause. He moved them papers aside. And guess what he did? He got back to the brand that was him. He got back to the theme that was him. He got to the dream. And guess what? It's one of the most iconic speeches of and most moving speeches of all time because his friend reminded him, tell him about the dream. So I'm telling you, like Halia Jackson had to do for Dr. King. Tell him about the dream, Garth. Tell him about the dream, Wendy. Tell him about the dream, artist. Tell him about the dream, Candace. Tell him about the dream, Jean. Tell him about the dream, Ron. Tell him about the dream, Sharon. Tell him about the dream, Emmy. Tell him about the dream, Soraya. Tell them about the dream, Catherine. Don't be afraid to have your own theme. Don't be afraid to show up in the way that you've been gifted to show up. Lead in the way that you are meant to lead. There's so many ways that we can manifest this thing called gratitude. My form of gratitude is always going to come with a form of fun. It's always going to come with a form of some type of cartoon and that Ric Flair energy and WWF. That's my theme, and that's okay. And guess what? I also borrow from these national themes, just like we're borrowing from the dream speech that's coming up, the anniversary this Thursday. You can do the same thing. Every single day, there's a national type of theme and holiday. You can tap into it. And I will share it again so that way Kat and Soraya can share it, in our Slack so that you guys can tap into that website. There is literally a calendar. That work is already done. You can craft questions. And I want to demonstrate that today because I love to make sure that we have some interaction. And I'm going to show you what I mean as far as how I get people to engage and to tap into my theme and also fulfill the dream. So here's my gratitude question for you all today. And I would love for everyone to answer. And those who are in the listening lounge of excellence, guess what? I would love to see your answers in the chat. And guess what we could do? We could come off mic and we can reach it. We can read it for you. So I want you guys to think back in time, right? I want you to think, what was a toy or maybe a place that you dreamed of having as a kid or going as a kid that you're grateful for? Who'd like to go first? Don't be shy.
It's a toy that I had as a child.
A toy that you wanted, that you dreamed of having, or either maybe a place that you wanted to go as a kid that you dreamed of going that you're grateful for.
Wanting to go to Disney, and I'm grateful for that because I remember that it was like a dream, and then my daddy took me when I wanted to go for years and years, and then finally was able to do it when I was 12.
Ooh, I love that. Can we unmic and simply say, Wendy had a dream? Ready on three. One, two, three. Wendy had a dream. Woo! So here's something that I just did with that. Not only did we just make Wendy feel good, Wendy, did that make you feel good that we all unmiked and supported your dream just now?
Yeah.
Yes. And guess what? It makes you want to stay around and you feel like you know something a little bit more. Like I didn't know Wendy's dad took her to Disney, so I was able to create a picture in my mind and it made me feel as though I know Wendy just a little bit more. But guess what? I was smiling with her as I thought about Disney. Do you see how that works? And guess what? I got her to tap into a dream from the past and a positive moment. And I can tell you that she smiled because I could hear the smile in her voice. Come on, we're answering what was a toy or a place that you dreamed of having or going as a kid that you're grateful for. Woo! Who's next?
I actually shared mine in the chat, and that was really nice, Shawnte. It was London because I was obsessed with Shakespeare. I think I used to do my homework with candle lights. And as I grew older, it was my first big trip that I paid on my own, actually. And I even ended up studying English lit and lived in London. So, yeah.
Woo! Oh my gosh, we gotta unmic on three and say Soraya's London Dream. Ready? One, two, three. Soraya's London Dream. Woo! Love that. Soraya, how did that feel? Just to have that little bit of extra oomph on that dream after you shared.
Fabulous, really fabulous. Because it just reminded me that you're right. You can, I haven't thought about that in years. It was so, I mean, 9 years old. Mm, a long way from now.
I absolutely love that. I'd like to pop in next.
I'll jump on that. Ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to be an herbalist, and I'm now an herbalist. And I'm talking maybe 6, 7, when I was making little concoctions in the yard.
All right, y'all. You know what we got to do. On three, we're going to say Jeans, the herbalist dream. Ready? One, two, three. Jean, herbalist dream. Love it. Who's next? Emmy, I saw you on mic. Did you want to pop in? All right, I'll definitely share mine, y'all. How about that? So, you all, I have always, from the time I was a little girl, I dreamed of getting on an airplane. I entered this competition. I won. I made the principal's honor roll for 3 years in a row. And I had perfect attendance, for 3 years in a row, every single 9 weeks. And so my godmother said, because I did so well and I got honored at the school, that I could take a trip anywhere I wanted in the world. Now, when you say something like that to a second grade kid, y'all know what I chose. Wendy, you're in good company because I wanted to fly to Disney World. And so, although it was a super short trip flying from Miami to Orlando, didn't know any better. Oh my God. I felt like I was Richie Rich, or Zach from Saved by the Bell. I was a Saturday morning cartoon kind of girl. So I just, all I dreamed of was getting on that plane, being able to get off, and I would get to go to It's a Small World, y'all. That's all I wanted to do. So that was a dream that I actually really, really wanted to go on an airplane to Disney World and to finally get to see and be on that ride called It's a Small World After All. I'm sorry, y'all. That loop is going to be stuck in your head now for those who've gone. Apologize. My granddaughter has that stuck in my head now too, so I had to spread the joy of that. So, I just shared mine, so I would love to know who would like to pop in next. It could be something small and simple, or just a simple toy, or or just a local place. It doesn't have to be some place grandiose. So,
All on mic and say, Shawnte had a dream.
Yeah. Had a dream. Shawnte had a dream.
oh my God, you guys, that felt so good. Y'all got me smiling. I feel so giddy, like a kid, right? But think about how quick. Here's one thing that I heard Tony Robbins say about affecting change in people. And when we can change somebody's state, we can change people's state with gratitude, y'all. And you don't even realize, look at how quick I changed your state, those of you who participated, those of you who've been willing to unmic, even those who are listening, in the listening lounge below. Listen, people get to tap in and there's a change of state. And guess what that means? We can also have a change in our direction. When we can change our state, we can actually move and we can actually act, on our behalf and actually do something that we intended or wanted to do. If we can change the state, and just simple gratitude question, in addition to our main question, can change and bring about a change in state. And all we did was tap into something that Dr. King has been known for and kept doing, which is we tapped into dreams. We've had dreams since we were little kids. Who said that dreams are like tricks just for kids? No, dreams are not just for kids. They're also for you and me as adults. They're for us. So keep dreaming. The dream won't fail. Having a plan or an intention for your gratitude won't fail you. It won't fail you. Will things always go exactly the way you intended? No, but it won't fail. I've had small, intimate rooms. I've had large stages. Here's the thing, it never fails. Because you know what? I stay true to the dream. I stay true to the theme. And people leave feeling better than when they arrived. So I would love to give someone else an opportunity to tap into that question of the dream. What was a toy or a place you dreamed of having or going as a kid? Who'd like to pop in next?
Shawnte, for me, it wasn't a toy, but it was something that I had a dream that I wanted a portable record player. It was battery operated, and I wanted it so bad. And 2 Christmases went by before I got it. And when I got it, oh my goodness, I think I played every record I had 9 million times. So that was a dream that I had that came true, and I can never forget it.
Woo! Can we unmic and say on three, Sharon had a radio dream. 1, 2, 3. Sharon had a radio dream. Absolutely. And it doesn't have to be one of these that I had, you guys. You could take liberty with the question. And absolutely, it could have been another item. It could have been even a book, that something that you really want, you dreamed of having as a kid or going as a kid that you're grateful for. I love that, Sharon. That just made my heart happy. Who wants to pop in next before I go into my next tip?
Shawnte, I will. I appreciate your enthusiasm. I see you raising the bar, girl. That's positive. The endorphins and the dopamines are really juicy. But my big thing, my childhood was not such a great childhood, so I had no dream. The dream I did get from my childhood, so that she could be able to live a quality life. And today, something I brought up home maybe 40 years ago. My mother is 96 years old, and I know for a certainty the life she had, she would not have been alive because of the way we came up. So to me, that really, every time I think about it, it brings tears and joy to my eyes. So very good topic.
All right, y'all. We go. we
Shawnte,
yeah,
I want
I just
to
wanted
think
to
about you on.
okay, I just wanted to celebrate Artist Dream. Y'all ready real quick? No problem, and you can go right after. Ready? One, two, three. Artist had a dream. Woo! Woo! Artist! All right. We love you, artist. Candace, go for it, sis.
You sparked me with what you shared because I've been sitting here thinking about my childhood, and truth, I'm like you, artist. My childhood was not fun, and so my dream was to survive. I think without realizing it, I had a dream as a kid to write a book because I did. I would make books when I was little. And so not only did I write 2 books so far, actually 3, one's not published. I have a publishing company that I launched almost 11 more than 11 years ago, and so that's a dream that came true. So thank you, artist, for saying what you said because I I reframed it then after your share. Thank you.
I love that, Candace. We are ready to celebrate Candace book dream. Ready on three. One, two, three. Candace had a book dream. Woo!
Congratulations.
Oh, I absolutely love that, Candace. Love, love, loved your share. And as I was talking about the dream and my dream of books in the hood, and even with Dr. King, and I was sharing, the backstory of that, which I was definitely, wanted to do after my next point, but it may be apropos here. So the thing is that the dreams that the librarian told me I could tap into with the books. I grew up in abject poverty, y'all. I'm talking about like being a kid hungry in America and couldn't share it, dodging bullets, being uncertain. When school was out, I was afraid because there was going to be a few days during that week, every week, that I wasn't going to eat, y'all. So when I tell you, books saved my life. Reading about Dr. King, listening to Dr. King at the library, and being able to travel with my mind. Whoo, I'm telling y'all, man, it takes my all not to get emotional. Having those moments. I think that's why I held on to the few moments that we would get during a month to, go to see wrestling when, there was an opportunity if somebody got tickets or something. I'm telling y'all, that dream and seeing Ric Flair and seeing Dusty Rhodes, I was able to hold on to it, but there was something about the way Dr. King delivered those words that it made me believe that I could dream and I could get outside of my environment and that those books that I was getting to check out, those books that people were giving me, would help me realize my dream. And guess what? I was able to travel anywhere in my mind, y'all. I'm so grateful for all of you guys tapping into your dreams. I'm grateful for the books that Candace have written. God only knows who and how far she's reached others. I'm telling y'all, nothing is wasted from what we've had to go through and what our journeys is. I'm telling you, somebody can connect, just like Candace could identify with artist's story. I was able to identify with both their stories. I'm telling you, your theme matters. The way you deliver your gratitude matters. Something within your journey matters that can connect and make someone see. Hearing artists and Candace be vulnerable and candid about that, it really truly makes me feel connected to them in a whole nother way that I wasn't aware of, not just through gratitude. I'm so very grateful for the theme and the brand and the person that is you, each and every one of you under the sound of my voice. I'm grateful for you. And I'm grateful that you guys have actually tapped in and you've indulged us today with this training and the way that we've been engaging here. I am so very grateful. But here's the thing that I see in all of you is that there was resiliency. Here's what I see with Dr. King. He was resilient. He also listened. He took a risk. He took a risk. Someone that he admired told him not to share that dream. Straight up told them folks ain't feeling that. You can't come up in here talking to no adults about the dream. They not here for that. Keep that there with the kids that you talk to at the school. But he shared it anyway. Artist shared. Candace shared anyway. And I appreciate that. Someone out there, I need you to understand, you gotta hold on to the theme. There's a theme that only you can bring. Only Ron can do Ron the way that he does Ron. And I absolutely love it. I love his form and flavor of energy. I pray that we all can actually have more confidence and joy in the way that we are going to have our approach to gratitude. That's going to lead to more engagement through gratitude. That's going to make people feel seen and heard through gratitude, make them feel safe to come in this place and help actually lift the vibration and the frequency that maybe that they came in on that they want to elevate from. See, we are healers in our own way through this movement. Gratitude heals, gratitude unites. Gratitude is the thing that is universal that we can all tap into, no matter what our religious background, no matter what our ethnic background is, no matter what our skin tone looks like. We can all unite around gratitude. And that is the thing that I love about Dr. King's dream is that he kept that effervescent before us. I'm so grateful that he had the courage to share the dream. And I'm grateful that he encouraged little kids like me and you to be able to know that we can dream too and we can tap into dreams. Keep the dream alive. It ain't gonna fail. Listen, my favorite book says, listen, wait, though it may tarry, wait. It ain't gonna fail. It ain't gonna fail. Wait for it. It will come for its appointed time. Listen, keep the dream of gratitude alive. Keep the dream of gratitude alive. I'm going to say it again. Keep the dream of gratitude alive. I need you to unmic with me and I need you to repeat that after me. Keep the dream of gratitude alive. Again, keep the dream of gratitude alive. One more time. Keep the dream of gratitude alive. We could do this, y'all. We can do this, y'all. I need you all to give me your favorite Dr. King gif right now. Everybody in the listening lounge, you can go ahead and tap in right now. I want to give somebody else an opportunity to answer that dream question. Listen, there's something about the power, the collective power of gratitude, y'all. What was a toy or maybe an item or a place you wanted to go that you dreamed of going as a kid that you're grateful for? What's somewhere? Somebody who hasn't shared yet. Somebody who hasn't told us a place or something that they wanted as a kid that they dreamed of going that you're grateful for. Who wants to pop in next?
And I share really quick.
Yes, Michelle, go for it, sis. Woo!
Okay. I'm gonna make it short, sweet, and my voice is kind of yuck right now. But I always dreamed of traveling, and I never traveled a lot until I got my first full-time job as a medical biller, and that took me to New York. And my friend Tina, I actually met her here on Clubhouse. Tina came down from Toronto, Canada, and spent a few days with me. And then as I was, still in that job, it started to kind of, get old, and I wasn't getting the help that I was needing to progress further in that job.
And so I dreamed of a new job. And I'm grateful for that first job because it gave me the skills for that second job, the job I'm at now. Uh, and it just, again, I wanted to travel, just another place. And this last travel that I did, this last place I traveled to, I went to Arizona. And that trip was such a blessing. It was a trip that, yes, I have my dream of a new job, and I went out and I got that job. I needed the skills first from the first job and everything I had from that first job. But once I had the credentials from the first job for this Intermountain Healthcare company, that's kind of what helped me get my second job. And then with this second job, I have progressed so quickly. I'm 23 months and 1 day into this job. I'll celebrate my 2-year anniversary September 25th. And I have come to make so many new friends. I've met so many amazing people. I've had so many amazing experiences. And I was able to literally pay off my trip, this trip to Arizona that I took back in April. With we get like so if the company that I work for gets all their stats, in the right areas, we get a bonus through the company. If the head company, like the mother company, yes, it sounds kind of like the mothership company. If they get their stats just right, we get a bonus from that company. So we're getting the big bonus the end of April, and that includes like the Intermountain bonus, the Select Health bonus, and our incentive bonus. But our incentive bonus is we have to work really, really hard to keep our stats up for those. There's stats such as like adherence, and we have to get certain levels on our audit scores. We have to keep these levels up so that we can get these bonuses. I'm grateful for this last trip that I wanted to see the Mesa, Arizona Temple Easter pageant, the Mesa Temple grounds in Mesa, Arizona, and I really wanted to go there, and I made that happen back in April. I met so many new people. I was able to meet with my coach's mom. I know a lot of you have heard me talk about my coach, Jerem, and I was able to meet his mom. His mom has been through a divorce, and she's been through cancer. And it's funny because I'm actually going through those things right now. But without that trip, leukemia and plasmacytoma and some probable pending renal cell carcinoma. But I look at that trip as a dream, and I dreamed that, and I made it happen, and I'm so grateful for that dream because without that trip, without going to Arizona, coming home with a cop, I wouldn't have been in the hospital for a week in May, and they wouldn't have found all these things that are going on. And so that's something that I'm grateful for everything I'm going through right now, even though it's hard, even though it's taking a toll on me physically and emotionally. I'm still finding that gratitude in all of these circumstances. And I wouldn't have it any other way because it's like gratitude is just amazing. Gratitude is just, I don't know, you cannot live life without gratitude. So yeah, that's my dream. I dreamed all those trips. I dreamed of a better job. I dreamed of, more. And gratitude helped me get more. Anyway, that's my share. And thank you. I'm Shawnte. I will never, ever, ever be done being grateful. That's my back to you, Health. Well, thank you.
Oh my gosh, y'all. We got to, and y'all can type it in the chat too. We are going to say Michelle had a travel dream. Ready? One, two, three. Michelle had a travel dream. Woo! I am so excited for you, Michelle, and thankful that you actually got to see the blessing, even in the midst of that, the twists and the turns and some things that, we are faced that we definitely don't want to have to face, but just being able to have that gratitude in the midst of it, Michelle, is so encouraging and so inspiring. And I'm grateful, listen, we got the dream of that new job. Listen, this is the type of thing that I know that Dr. King wanted his dream to keep living on in us. And I'm grateful that you continued to have dreams. And I'm grateful that you dreamed of traveling. I'm grateful that you dreamed of that new job. And I have a question, for all of us, what's in a dream? What's really, it's a rhetorical question, but have we ever stopped to think what's really truly in a dream? Here's some ingredients that I think that are in there. Hope, having something to focus on, the opportunity to focus, really, something to aspire to, aim, direction. These are things that are all wrapped up in a dream. This is why it was so important for that dream that Dr. King delivered, and his friend was able to encourage him and get him to tell him about the dream. And I'm grateful I've had this opportunity to be your Mahalia Jackson tonight and get you to tell him about the dream. So I have space for one or two more before I actually get ready to land this plane and give you guys my final one, two, three, four punches of dream to seal the deal and bring it together. And as we close with a quick clip from him, I know, Emmy, you were trying to share, and I would love to give you the opportunity. And if there was anyone else that didn't get a chance to answer that dream question of what was a toy or maybe an item or a place that you dreamed of going or having as a kid. Emmy?
Thank you. Can you hear me now?
Woo!
Yes.
We got you.
My
Woohoo!
dream was to be heard. I just got heard. Hallelujah. Hello, everyone. What a blessing. Thank you so much. My dream was to be a nurse. Since I was 5 years old, I had a little toy nurse, a doll. So here I am, being a nurse practitioner. I'm living my dream. Praise God. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, we gotta unmic and say, listen, Emmy's nurse dream on three. One, two, three. Emmy's nurse dream. Woo! Absolutely love that. Normalcy never again. We're gonna actually use the term that Dr. King, and I would love somebody to put it in the chat. The original dream speech that turned into the dream speech when Mahalia Jackson gave him that courage. But I love that concept of normalcy never again. See, as kids, you had something that broke away from that norm. See, Wendy wanted to go to Disney. I wanted to get on that plane to Disney. Listen, some of us, I'm Sharon wanted that record, that radio player. Listen, we all had different things. Artists wanted something different than what was going. He wanted to actually excel beyond that. Candace had those book dreams. We all had these different things that these dreams that really truly was a break away from the normalcy, whether it was a good or bad normalcy. Normalcy never again. That's what Dr. King said, y'all. Normalcy never again. That's what Dr. King said, y'all. Keep the dream alive. Keep the dream of gratitude alive. I need us to also understand, listen, in that, what's your family dream? When it comes down to gratitude, do you have a dream for your family with practicing gratitude? Do you have a social dream, meaning your interactions? Do you have a dream for your friends to be able to tap into gratitude? Do you ever text your friends and actually ask them, hey, what are two or three things that you're grateful for today? What about when you do your shift? How about the day before or the morning of or the evening before you ask someone that you know, someone that you socialize with, what's one or two things that you're grateful for? And drop it in the chat when you get ready to do your shift. Or even if you're not doing moderating a gratitude shift, there's something about that power of that social interaction. What is that social interaction dream? There's so many ways for us to engage and have a dream when it comes down to gratitude. What about an educational dream? Maybe there's a gratitude book. Maybe there's some books that you could introduce. We do pop-up rooms around themes all the time. Y'all know I'm definitely going to do a WWF room around gratitude. But there's some book dreams. I've done a book gratitude room. Listen, there's so many ways that we can manifest this gratitude dream. What are some books maybe that you're grateful for? Have you ever thought to ask someone, what's a book? Maybe it's a book around a certain topic that they're grateful for. Think about how much joy that it usually gives someone when they've come across a great book or when they've come across a great story or a great article and they share that with others. Woo, there's something about educational dreams. What about those civic dreams? Through gratitude? Is there a way that we could serve others more? Is there a dream that you need to have about doing something in your community, doing something right where you are in your hemisphere, your part of the world? See, there's some civic gratitude dreams that we can all tap into. One of mine is having Christmas in July throughout my community in South Florida. Mine is making sure I have a gratitude corner in my school, in my classroom specifically, engaging my school community in gratitude, engaging them for World Gratitude Day for the second year in a row. That is one of my civic dreams. What about you? See, I hope that you guys somebody will put it in the chat. What is a family dream of gratitude, social dream of gratitude, educational dream of gratitude, or civic dream of gratitude? I hear a hot mic. Does somebody want to tap in and answer that dream question about gratitude as a kid? Pastor, I see you.
Yeah, there you go. So basically, my dream when I was growing up is like I was in trouble a lot. So I got in a lot of trouble. I was in gangs, crime a whole bit while I was growing up. And so in my eighth grade year, when I was not locked up and I was back home, one of my teachers said to me, "What do you want to do when you grow up? Like, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And I told her, and I said, "I'm going to go all over the country, and I'm finally going to get my act together at some point, and I'm going to speak to people all over the world that have been dealing with addictions and dealing with being in and out of prison and dealing with being locked up, and I'm going to go speak all over the world." And she looked at me and she said, "You shut up and sit down. You're a loser. You're not going to do that. You know you ain't going to do that. You're going to be locked up is what you are." And I never forgot that, and I stayed with that. And now today, all those years later, I've been all over the world. I've spoken all over. I'm a motivational speaker, a life coach. I've been a pastor of a mega church, and I've been a chaplain at a prison. And if you would have told me that those many years ago, people would have been like, "You're crazy." But God is so good, and my dream became a reality a lot of years later. But thank you for letting me speak.
Woo! Oh my gosh, as we get ready to close out the room, I'm going to pass it back to Soraya, but we got to celebrate Pastor's dream. Ready? On three, we're going to simply say, Pastor had a motivational dream. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Pastor had a motivational dream. Woo! Oh my God. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so very much. Listen, Dr. King said that all can be great because all can serve. I'm grateful we all are serving through gratitude. I'm grateful that we're keeping the dream alive. Thank you guys. I am Shawnte Health Wells, and it is my pleasure to actually kick off this week's celebration of the Dream Anniversary. Over to you, Soraya. Woo!
I don't think we can let Shawnte leave here without giving her a woo. So that's all. One,
Congratulations, Shawnte.
Woo!
all right, Shawnte, thank you so much. I'm not sure if you heard my introduction for you, but just wanted you to know that we're so grateful for you, and we're so grateful that you said yes, and we got a chance to have you up here because you have been so. We've been trying to get you on for some time now, so I'm glad it actually happened, and what a treat it was. So did not disappoint. Thank you, thank you. We've had a full house, and maybe we should do a little part two. So
Yes, ma'am.
that would be awesome. Any questions for Shawnte while she's here? I know we're just at the top.
I just want to say thank you, Shawnte.
Woo! Back at you, brother. Thank you for this opportunity in this community. Thank you for moving on that dream of gratitude, Garth. We love you, brother. Woo!
What would you say to Shawnte? Your enthusiasm is contagious. And see, that's what gratitude's all about. ISM, I am so myself. And really and truthfully, that was absolutely fantastic, Chair. Thank you.
No, seriously, no, thank you guys. Soraya, you didn't know that when you sent this invite, so I was canceling some things. My dad was born in August. And so this was a very emotional month for me, Soraya. Been crying probably every single day. And I felt like I was letting my dad down and I wasn't, actually celebrating as I promised him I would always do something to commemorate the dream anniversary. And so when I tell you I'm grateful for your persistence and actually seeing an opportunity to open up my schedule on a Tuesday, because I've literally been working every single Tuesday, y'all, since the last time that I was supposed to be on, you guys. And I'm so grateful, Soraya, because this has been like a healing for me. And I'm grateful to be able to share my love and my dad's love for Dr. King during his birth month as well. So I'm so grateful for you all. This has truly been like a healing for me in a way that I feel that I've also been able to honor my dad. So thank you guys for this opportunity. I truly mean that. Back to you, Soraya. Woo!
Thank you so much. And, I feel so useful now, but I'm so glad that we kept at it. And I'm so glad that you came up. And, I love these talks. And I do wish that we could go on for more time and more time. And, the time just goes by. Just goes. It's an hour already. So, anybody else? Anybody else for Shawnte while she's here? Anybody wants to share some love or put something in the chat? I just say miss you, boo boo.
Oh, I miss you too, my Kimmy. Oh.
And I started off with an intention, Shawnte, and it was all about, let's just really listen with an open heart and compassion as you share your knowledge about Martin Luther King. And I know coming from the Caribbean, I might know more than some Americans about him because, it's sometimes so overlooked, that speech. So I really urge you guys to, if you get a chance this week, really go on to whatever platform and listen to that speech one more time. It really is, really is powerful. So with that being said,
I want to say about that speech. My wife was at that march in Washington, D.C. at that speech. So really, I just want to mention, that's all I want to mention there.
Wow, how lucky she is. Wow. So with that, I just want to say next week, like I said, we have our own Mr. Ming, and I really want you all to send me in some questions for him. He is so honored. He's just so excited to do this next week. It is going to be an hour earlier. It's going to be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and because of his inability to sort of be on stage, and he doesn't really want to just talk without knowing. So we can have a little practice with him and I can send it to him. So makes him a little more comfortable. And I know you guys will do that for Mr. Ming. So looking forward to hearing Mr. Ming on how him, and he's back to school. Mr. Ming has left his hometown, and he Malaysia. He's left Johor Bahru, and that's a big step. That's like leaving Arkansas to New York. I'm telling you guys. So it's a big step for him, and he is just doing wonderfully. I talk to him every week. He's doing great, and I'm looking forward to him next week. So just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say that, just to remind you guys, those who have a trainee to take your trainee by the hand, and that's it. Once you get a trainee, you take them through. There's a form to fill out, whether your trainee is done in 1 month, 2 months time, 3 months time. That's up to you. That's up to you to decide. It's not up to me. It's not up to Sharon. It's not up to Kat. Simply because we're not there, so we don't know the progress. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, I just want to say congrats. He's not here. Edwin Siri, all the way from Africa. He has completed his training, and I tell you what, I'm so proud of him because he's had so many challenges. His phone broke like 3 times. He just couldn't get in there, but he persisted and he persisted, and he really wanted, as Shawnte would say, he had a dream. He had a dream to be a moderator. And, I look back at my textbook. Thank you. I look back at some of my texts to him, and sometimes he probably thought, oh my God, I am a horrible person. But then he actually sent out and said that he was so sorry because, he had all these issues, and he didn't know how to explain what had happened, and we're so excited. So I want to say, Catherine, thank you for training Edwin. He loves it. He loves being part of the movement. And I think our next trainee, who is going to be completed soon, is going to be, I want to say well, I haven't gotten any names as yet, so let me not say anything. So I'm sure there's going to be many next week. And just looking forward to Atlanta for those of you.
Guys. Have a great day.